Here we go, boys. How are we going, guys? What a night we have tonight. The HFD Footy podcast is back, and we got a star-studded lineup here tonight, guys. We got the King of the North.
G'day, guys.
He's gonna do his thing.
The King of the North.
King of the North. We got Guy. It's actually Guy now. It says Guy.
I've changed it to
Guy,
Guy.
1, 2, 3.
He changed to Guy. Well, I forgot to tell you that. Are you happy with that, or?
Yeah, I'm happy. It's fine.
We'll change it back to Johnny G if you want. But anyway, the G stands for G. So then we got
Johnny John.
the man himself, Johnny Carlton. Big night
Hello.
tonight. We're looking forward to that. What do you call it?
The Johnny Bold Cole.
Yeah, the bold call. And we got Bruno. Bruno is back now. You guys remember I did a podcast with Bruno a few weeks ago. Talked about Port Adelaide. Another Port supporter, another Port boy to help me out with a bit of the banter. So good to have you on, Bruno.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Boys, what a round. I mean, look, we know what we said last week, opening round. We weren't a big fan of it. I don't know about you, Bruno, but we just weren't a big fan of opening round. We don't feel like it's start of the season, and with the buys and everything. We talked about it last week.
Yeah.
How did you guys like? What did you guys think of it first? And do you think now that you've seen it, is it here to stay? And we'll go with you, Bruno. What do you reckon?
I didn't hate it. I didn't dislike it as much as I thought I would. But I'm also looking at it from the perspective of my team was one of the ones that didn't play. So I don't feel like footy started because I can't sort of get into it the way that, I would have had we have played last week. But I don't hate the idea of, getting the season to start outside of Victoria. That bit is totally fine by me. But it was a bit weird. Maybe it'll take some time to settle in. But yeah, I don't know. I still don't really know how I fully feel about it.
Yeah. Look, we were saying last week how this feels weird. And even watching their games felt a bit weird. But yeah, there were some good games. Johnny Carlton, did you like opening round? What do you reckon?
As a Carlton fan, I'm always used to Carlton Richmond being the opening game of the season, so it was a bit weird this year. Yeah, as I said last week, I still agree. I don't like it. I don't think it should stay, but some people did like it. So some people that love footy, they got to see it a week earlier and they enjoyed it, even if their team didn't play. So at the end of the day, some fans are happy, some fans are not. But yeah, at the end of the day, I just wasn't a fan, to be honest. Always loved Carlton Richmond as the opening game. So it doesn't feel right this Thursday.
Nah,
knowing that we're 1-0 up, it
does
crazy.
feel weird. It does feel weird. Guy, any thoughts on the opening round before we start?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm 50-50, I guess. Yeah, my team obviously didn't play this round. It was good to have football back. Great to see some games and some upsets and some good footy. But yeah, I'm not sure if I'm on the fence with this one. Yeah, I'm not sure if I enjoyed it or not.
Yeah.
But it's a bit of a tease for me, I guess. But have to wait another week for the Crows to play. But all in all, yeah, I'm not too sure how I feel about round zero.
King of the North, what's your take on it, man?
Good to see footy back. That was a good thing. Not a big fan of it. I don't know how the buys are going to affect teams now. As we go through and they have to have a buy just as they start to get a bit of momentum going. So that could be a problem. But yeah, I like the first game of the year as well at the MCG. That's massive. So that's sort of it was. We got good footy. Can't complain about the football that we got, but yeah, some of the coaches don't like it. The AFL thinks it's a good idea. They're all about the money. So yeah, we'll see what they do next time. But yeah, we got footy, but it could be not. It could be not that great.
100%, man. Look, I agree. Yeah, it felt weird. Felt a bit weird, but look, in saying that, before we do go into the games, make sure you guys, if you're brand new, make sure you like, share, subscribe. We do have some people in the chat. Curtis, how you going, Curtis? Khan the Bulldogs, boys, how's it going? We're going well, man. And Zakal says hello to everyone. How are you, Zakal? Anyway, let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. So, look, there was 4 games. You had the Sydney Swans versus Melbourne. You had the Gold Coast, Brisbane Lions, Carlton, Gold Coast versus Richmond, and the GWS versus Collingwood. Now, we'll start with the Sydney-Melbourne game quickly. We did do a watch-along on this one. It was the Swans, 12-14-86 to 9-10-64. Yeah, just ran over them at the end. Any of you guys watch this game? What do you guys think? Johnny Carlton, did you watch this one?
No, this is the only game I missed out on, actually. Okay. I had my own local footy game, so no, couldn't watch it.
Yeah, we did our watch along, and we watched it, and like Sydney looked really good. Melbourne did look good in patches, but they just broke down in especially that second half. Max Gawn, he couldn't go with Grundy. Grundy was just on fire, man. It's like he had a point to prove, and he was unbelievable, man. Bodie Grundy. He had got the stats here: 22 disposals, 31 hit-outs, 9 clearances. Guy was a beast. He looked like his form back when he was in Collingwood, like when he was winning all those trophies, like best player and all that awards. So yeah, he was really good. What's his name? What's his name in the middle? Heaney, that's the one. Heaney was great. He was good, really good. He was good. He was in the midfield a lot. He did drift forward as well. And Melbourne, I don't know. They had no firepower up forward either. There's no one. Van Rooyen, he was okay, but Petrarca had a good goal. Clayton Oliver just looked like he lacked a bit of step because he hasn't played for a while. I don't know. They looked a bit slow, man. Sydney just looked quicker, and I don't know. Is it trouble for the D's guys? What do you guys reckon? Bruno, did you watch it?
I saw bits and pieces of this match, and I don't know if I'm fully worried about Melbourne. I don't think this match really did much for my standing on them, because it's hard to tell really how good Sydney are going to be this year. One of those things early in the season, you just never really know. But I think there was a lot going Sydney's way. You have to wonder how much things like the 150th celebration, the preparation for that, even little like storylines like Brodie Grundy, how much that has impacted the team and really got them to fire up. But I don't know. They definitely outplayed them, particularly towards the end, and I think it'll be a good year for the Swans, but I don't know if I'm worried about Melbourne yet. I'd have to see how they fare in their upcoming games, I think, to really get an assessment on whether this was a once-off or whether this will be what we expect from them this year.
Yeah, 100%. They just looked a bit slow, didn't they? I don't know. I don't know.
Mm.
We'll see. We'll see how they go during the year. But Guy, did you see the game or did you watch this one?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, a few things about Melbourne concern me. Their forward line concern me a bit. I can't see them, where they're kicking a lot of bags from at the moment, but it is early on, as Bruno said. Oliver doesn't look sharp yet with his preseason. He looks a bit rough at the moment, not that sharp. And it was a story of Gawn versus Grundy in this game. And yeah, Grundy, man, he bullied Gawn. It's, it goes to show, if you play Gawn right, it looks like he was really just digging into him and the centre bounces, and it was working. So I think if you stop Gawn and a couple of their key players, you can beat Melbourne. So great start for Sydney. I did predict them to have a good year, and Heaney started well in the midfield, and do like the likes of Papley is always good, and they've got a good mix. Sydney, I'm excited for their year.
Yeah, did you guys see that goal that Von Rooyen scored? That it was out of his ass. That was funny, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something.
Is that when he falconed it and then onto his leg?
Yeah, yeah, like hit his I think his head, and then he went on his bottom of his leg, and he went through. It was just a fluke, but far out. What a goal! What a goal! But yeah, look, I remember Port Adelaide used this tactic with Gawn last year. They were really aggressive with him, and they bullied him, and we got on top. We won that game. It was over here though in Adelaide, but if you can get in the head of Gawn, I feel like he's the heart and soul of that team, and if you can get his heart and crush his heart, then you can crush them. So, but they're still a good team. They're still a good team. I wouldn't count them out yet though. King of the North, what do you reckon?
Yeah, we did the watch along. It was a good game, and Sydney very impressive. Heaney and Grundy outstanding. They bought well, and they seem to have gelled well together as a team really quickly. Melbourne seemed to struggle on the SCG as well, with whether it was the shape of the ground or what it was. But Sydney, this may be a fortress this year for Sydney at home. So very impressive Sydney, and I think they're going to get a lot of wins this year.
Yeah, no, they look good. They definitely look good, guys. And well, who'd you guys tip? Johnny Carlton, I can't remember who you said last week. I think you said
So I said Melbourne. But look, Sydney proved, I didn't watch the game, but Sydney, I heard what Sydney did. They proved me wrong. They had Mills, Adams, and Parker all out, and I thought their midfield was just not going to step up. But yeah, it was their night there. As they said, 150 years. They were the better team. They showed up. They wanted the fight. They wanted the ball more than Melbourne did, and they came out victorious. So yeah, very impressive with Sydney. Melbourne a bit disappointing, but I reckon they'll bounce back. As I said, I still think they'll be a top 4 contender. They started my year off with the wrong tip. So yeah, I tipped Melbourne.
Yeah, I was listening to Talkback Radio today. David King said, if they don't start banking the wins, like early and stuff, it could get ugly, because I think they got a bit of a hard draw. So, I'm not sure who they got. We'll talk about who they've got next. I can't remember who they've got next, but Bulldogs. See, I don't even know, with them playing a game, does that affect the Bulldogs? I don't know how it's going to work. So, because they've played a game, their legs are worn in, and then you got fresh legs coming on. So we'll see what happens. But interesting times. Well, look, that was that game. I think. Yeah. Did anyone else pick Sydney? I picked Sydney. Anyone else?
I went Sydney as well, but I thought if that was in Melbourne, I was struggling to really pick who I thought would win, and I think I purely picked him just because it was in Sydney, which ended up working out well for me. But certainly one I could have definitely seen going the other way.
Yeah, 100%. Genwell in the chat says hello. There's a big question there, but look, we'll leave that question till the end. We will answer it, Genwell. Okay. All right. Look, this is the game that I want to talk about because Johnny Carlton is here, and I want to know what his emotions are because my emotions were running wild when this was playing. Now, I'm not as you can see, I'm not a Carlton supporter, and I really wanted them to win. I don't know why. 'Cause, I don't know. Maybe because when Johnny Carlton last week said 40 points, it was like, oh man, I'd love to prove him wrong because I know that if I prove him wrong, he's going to be happy. Do you know what I mean? And that's exactly what happened, man. And I was sitting there with the King of the North, right? We're sitting on the couch together, doing the watch along, and we're going, this is bad. Like, Carlton look bad. Like, there's no oomph, there's no fire. Where is it? And it just looked like it was going to be like more than 40 points. I'm going, it's going to be like a 10-goal win easily.
It was. It was like 46 at one point.
Yeah,
like, oh my God.
And then the King of the North, he went to go visit someone, like, because my parents live next door to me, so my uncle was there. He was going to go visit my uncle, right? And I said, just go for the third quarter. I'll watch the third quarter on my own, and no worries. You come back fourth quarter, we'll do the last quarter. I sit here on my own, and I see one of the most spectacular third quarters I've ever seen in my life, right? And he comes back, and I'm like, yeah, Carlton are like in the front. He's like, what? What? Couldn't believe it. Like, yeah, it was such a crazy game. And like, because you don't see, I mean, you do see the comebacks these days, but like to get a comeback on the second game of the year and at the Gabba, like you don't win at the Gabba. Who wins at the Gabba, man? No one. Like, do you know what I mean?
Brisbane usually.
Exactly. So like how, like it's just crazy. And yeah, I loved every minute of it. Johnny Carlton, I'm going to give it to you because you are the mad Carlton supporter. Well, look, I'll tell you what the scores were first. So, look, 1 point, 12-13-85 to 13-8-86. Carlton win it by 1 point. Johnny Carlton, let us know your feelings from the start or the halftime to the end. I want to know what you felt.
Yeah, look, so going into it, all week I was saying Brisbane. As I said, last time before Friday night, the last time Brisbane lost at the Gabba was 2022. So it's been a very long time since Brisbane's lost. And Carlton have lost the last 9 times going to the Gabba. I was there last year at the prelim. I was at the Gabba. I know how they are there. I just knew that just Carlton wasn't going to step up. I had a feeling. I just knew it was Walsh, Wiedering. I just thought, oh no, we're just in trouble. And it's Brisbane over there. Getting to my mate's house who were Brisbane supporters as well. So there's 4 Brisbane supporters and only 2 Carlton supporters. I'm going to my Carlton mate. I'm like, this is not going to be a good night for us. I go, I reckon we'll kick the first goal of the game and then they'll kick the next 6. He's like, no, don't think about that. Anyways, game went on. First kick, I see Hugh McCluggage kicking it from the corner. I'm like, oh, great, it's already started. This is just not going to end well. And then Harry gets it. Harry's kicking straight. And I'm like, what the hell is 2024 giving us? Harry Mackay kicking straight? Like, what the hell is this? Anyways, game went on. 20 minutes later, end of the first quarter, I was like, what did I tell you? Brisbane's kicked the next 6. What did I tell you? We're going to lose by more than 40 points. Midway through the second quarter, I'm sipping my water. I'm going to my mate. I'm like, I just want to go home at halftime. I just can't be bothered. All my Brisbane supporters are laughing, making jokes, banter on the Facebook saying chokers. Carlton supporters already saying sacking boss. It was just Carlton banter. I said to my mate, he was like, all right, let's just, if we don't kick the next 2 goals, we can leave at halftime. I was like, no, we'll just be quiet. And then midway through the second quarter, we just started to slowly come back. I saw Cunningham kick a goal. I'm like, okay. From that moment onwards to the midway of the third quarter, we were down from 46 points to hit the front to lead by 4 points. It took 12 minutes of actual football playing time to kick 8 goals in 12 minutes. Is just insane. Charlie Curnow kicking 4 of the 8. just as I said, before that, Sam Doherty went down at halftime as well. So I was like, oh, God, Doc's not there. Walsh is not there. Wiedering's not there. That's 3 of our 4 vice captains. Like, all our leaders are gone. Like, we got poor little Jackie Carroll coming on at halftime. I don't think he's going to do what Doherty does. I was wrong. They zipped me. I was silent. They proved me wrong. Couldn't believe my eyes. I didn't think that was Carlton. I thought that was just Collingwood. 2023 Collingwood just coming back. Charlie kicking 2 in a minute. All these boys. The intensity was there. The fight was there. We wanted the ball more than Brisbane. Brisbane looked clueless, and it was their own ground. They looked clueless. They were missing goals. Charlie Cameron missing goals in front. Joey Danaher usually kicks those goals on the run. Him missing them. Hipwood missing an easy goal. It was just going Carlton's way. Everything. Whenever Carlton just touched the ball, it was just, you knew something was going to happen. And then when Carlton hit the front, my Brisbane mates were looking at me. They're like, "What the frick just happened in like 26 minutes?" And it just happened from there. And then third quarter comes and we're in front, and I'm like, "Oh no, this is just going to probably give me heartbreak." And then, anyways, fourth quarter happens. Last 5 minutes, I couldn't watch. Charlie was a 1-on-1 against Saad. Charlie won it. Saad dropped it. Charlie picked it up, snapped it to put them in front. I'm like, oh, God, we've lost it. This is where Brisbane kicked the next 2 and run away with it. 2 minutes, I'm like this. I couldn't watch. And then Harry Mackay marked it. I'm like, oh, no. Out of everyone, it has to be Harry. I said to my mate, pack your bags, we're going home. He's like, nah, Harry's been good today. He's going to kick straight. I'm like, if Harry kicks this goal, I'm going to the MCG next week in a costume that's going to be so ridiculous, which I still am. So I have a photo on Thursday of my costume that I'm wearing on Thursday night. It's going to be ridiculous. Harry kicks it, and I said to myself, I didn't even think about coming winning. I was like, how the hell am I going to wear that costume in front of 85,000 people?
Could be 90.
Harry kicked the goal, and I was just emotional. I started to get emotional. Tears were coming down my eyes. Like, we've just been in Brisbane at the Gabba. No one does that.
No.
We've beaten Brisbane at the Gabba from coming down to 46 points. No one does that.
Yeah.
No Walsh, no Wiedering, Doherty out for half. Like, no one does that. Jack Carroll becoming a star and a half of football. Like, no one knew who Jack Carroll was before this game. Like, it was ridiculous. And then, yeah, as I said, I'm driving home with my mate, and we have the Carlton song up, and I'm like, I just can't believe we've just gone to Brisbane, come back from 46 points and beat. I was in shock. Harry Mackay kicking straight. If this is what 2024 looks like, then 2024 had my heart, because I'm all in. I'm all in if this is what it's going to look like for 2024. Anyways, very proud of the boys. They proved me wrong. It would look very disgusting in the first half, but they fought. They found something that I haven't seen in Carlton before. They all matured. They've done this before when it was tight pressure. As I said, Melbourne last year, Sydney last year, we were down by a goal, up by a goal with a minute to go. They handle those situations very well, and Bossy does it. So, yeah, bring on Thursday night against those. I won't say it, but bring on Thursday night.
You know who I liked? Well, me and the King liked him a lot, and I love him because he's an ex-Port Adelaide. But Fantasia, where was this at Port Adelaide, man?
His disposal and kicking efficiency was outstanding. He's what we needed into that forward line. As I was saying, he was the only positive going into that game. I'm like, the way he was when I went to open training, the way I saw him pinpoint inside 50, that with Carlton, we always kick it up in the air just for Charlie and Harry to mark it. We always think, oh yeah, Charlie and Harry's going to do it. We always wish that they get it. But no one actually pinpoints it. But Orazio, what he did on Thursday night, set up 5 goals. It's just, that Orazio magic. Hopefully he can score on Thursday night and show us his new celebration. But Orazio played very well.
Bruno, do you have the same sentiment as me with Orazio? Because, I was watching it going, as if we gave this guy to Carlton.
Yeah, I mean, look, this was another one that I only saw bits and pieces. Actually, I think all the matches this week I've only seen bits and pieces of. So, but it is sort of one of those things where I wonder how much system has to do with a player like him in terms of it's really dependent on how well other players are playing, and if I think at Port at least it was really only if the key forwards were off that a player like him would get to really perform. For him to perform in the way that he did while Curnow and Mackay were also playing quite well, obviously, is it's a real positive. I think for Carlton to be getting that out of a player that they really gave up nothing for. That'll be huge for them, provided he can stay on the park, because that's always been the big concern over him. If he stays on the park, I think he'll be huge for Carlton this year.
Yeah, 100%. I
Another thing to that, something that you guys will probably not see, but on Carlton media, Fantasia spoke after the game, and he said the way that he was prepared is because he's had history with Voss at Port Adelaide.
Oh, yeah.
He had a one-on-one chat with Vossi 24 hours before the game. Vossi showed him some old footage of what he could do. He had belief. It was like a fresh new season for him. It's a fresh new beginning, and he just looked like a new player from Port Adelaide to Carlton. So, yeah, he was a Razio dazzle for sure. So,
quickly, GT23 goes, great review of the night. You had Johnny Carlton, so there you go, man. You just... GT23 is giving you kudos there, man.
Thank you.
Nah, look, King of the North, you're another Carlton supporter. What, like, when you walked into the lounge, what was your feeling, man? You looked pretty happy when I saw you.
I was sitting next door and I had a look at the app. I just glanced at the app and I'm going, is that 65 points? And then I went, no way. And I'll go to him, I've got to go. So I've run back over next door, and it's just, it was bizarre. Absolutely bizarre in the last quarter. They were just dominating. So, yeah, absolutely amazing. Couple of, I really like Owies. He's small, but he's a good little player. Blake Acres, 22 disposals, six marks. He was really good as well. Chera with 25 disposals. And I'm just really hoping that Harry can just keep the form going. He really deserves a break. He copped so much shit last year, and deservedly so. He didn't play well, but if he can start his season so much better and just be a little bit more accurate, and he has a big season as a forward, then that'd be fantastic. But they're outstanding, and to beat Brisbane at home is just unbelievable.
Hey, I said it last week. You guys didn't believe me. Johnny Carlton was like, no. All of you guys were no. And I said, no, Carlton, man, they can do
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I said Brisbane by 40 plus. So I was way off. So yeah,
Guy,
you're half right.
You're half right. Guy, give us your thoughts, man.
Yeah, definitely game it around. Carlton have set the benchmark, I'd say, for comebacks for the year. So it's going to be tough to beat that comeback this year. 46 points down at the Gab. I don't know, talk about Brisbane a little bit. Is there a bit of warning signs now with Coleman going out for the year now? Losing their first game at home. So I think they're still going to be right. I still think they'll be top four, Brisbane. Johnny Carlton touched most of the game there. It could have gone either way in that last quarter. Like I said, they missed some shots, but it was a hell of a comeback. And look, Carlton have had a great start. They're not, and I wouldn't put them as premiership favourites. I think the High Viz boys are the premiership favourites for me at the moment. But
the High Viz,
yeah, look, good on the Blues, and it was a great win for them at the Gabba.
Look, also there was 2 injuries from this game. Season-ending injuries. So you had Doherty with a ACL, which was sad to see, and then also you had Coleman out with an injury. Now, out of these 2, who's more like I think Brisbane, Coleman he's a massive loss. to them.
Yeah,
Like,
because they don't have Rich anymore down there, and Kitty Coleman was supposed to be that halfback sort of playmaker now. So
yeah,
I think
Well-
Carlton look better with Doherty not in the team. So you can say Brisbane more really.
yeah, but Doherty's got so much like experience, like you know what I mean as well. So they're gonna miss that in the middle. Like as much as like you know Carroll was awesome and is his name Carroll? Is that his name?
Yeah, Carroll. Yeah.
Yeah, like as good as he was, like is he gonna be able to run out a whole season? You just don't know.
Yeah. Look, I don't want to be biased or anything, but out of those two, I feel like Doc is the more important one because with Brisbane, you got to remember McKenna wasn't there, and they still have Tom Doherty from Adelaide still to come. So I
True.
feel like that halfback replacement could be. I'm a very big fan of Tom Doherty, and I reckon he's that playmaker off halfback as well. You just obviously he's still injured, but yeah, out of the two, I just feel like Doc's the more important one. Can Doc's that leadership role now? Obviously, with Walsh going down, he was that one stepping into the midfield. You would always rely on Doc. It's just terrible how it's happened to him. He doesn't deserve it, but it's football and it's a cruel world. So
It'll be cruel. Like I mean, I'd love for you to if you win a premiership, like it'd be cool for him. Like And those stories happen every year, man. Where you see a player that heart and soul and misses out on a.
What happened to that Bulldogs player and Bevo gave him the medal?
Yeah, Murphy. Happened to Primus
Murphy.
in Port Adelaide. Happened to Primus. Happened to Modra. Happened to
I
Josh Franco.
I don't like Carlton and Premiership together in the same sentence. I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
Hey man, if you can beat Brisbane in Brisbane, I mean, who knows?
Lid's still on, guys.
But before we go on to the next match, what the heck were the Blues fans wearing at the game here? Like,
I loved it.
The Blues Brothers.
Look at this guy.
Amazing.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. And I don't know if you got the feed on, but I don't know what he's wearing, the Blues Brothers. And then all of them, man, in the crowd. Look at them all. Is that what you're going to wear next week, Johnny Carlton, or what?
No.
Oh, what the hell? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Crazy.
the whole crowd was Blues Brothers.
It was, man. Anyway,
Yeah,
Toby
well
Crook goes, go the Blues. Ivan says, Hunky, premiership favourite is Crom. I'll take it easy, mate.
Let's go.
You've got to remember that Sam Doherty is a big loss to Carlton supporters as well, Toby reckons. And I love the dress up. Curtis says that was so cool. So people did like it. So it was cool. It was different. So good to see that they're getting, dressed up for the footy. It's nice. Anyway, that was a massive game. Congratulations, Johnny Carlton, King of the North. You guys deserve the win, and look forward to seeing what Carlton do in the next coming round. But the next game, guys, was on the Saturday. It was the Gold Coast Suns versus Richmond. 14-15-99 to 9-6-60. Matt Rao had a massive game, 33 disposals, contested possession 26. And he had 20 clearances. Now, is this guy... Was that his best game, you reckon, guys? Because, I haven't seen him play like that for a long time. But, Bruno, did you watch this one?
This one I didn't really see anything of, but I have looked into it. Matt Rao's second player ever to have 20 or more clearances in a game, which is mind-boggling. But... this is an interesting one because a lot of people are saying, have Gold Coast arrived? And really, I feel like we hear this every year because they tend to rack up their wins early on. I'm not so sure. It was a very good performance by them. Obviously, that run where they just completely obliterated Richmond was fantastic. But I think any success that they have this year was sort of inevitable. That if they're going to make finals this year, they would have done it under Stewie Dew. That's my thoughts on it. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if that's a consensus opinion because I'm hearing a lot of people saying Dimmer's going to bring him to finals. Dimmer's going to do this. I'm not so sure, and I think beating Richmond in 2024 is hardly indicative of being around the mark. And so I hope the lid stays on next week for Carlton fans, because I think they'll beat Richmond. But I don't know. I don't know if this says much to me about whether Gold Coast are actually legitimate, because it's Richmond. I think they're pretty clearly going to be the third worst side this year, just a rung above North and West Coast. But I don't know. I'm not fully convinced on Gold Coast, even with such a great game in hand.
Johnny's so happy to hear that.
Love it.
We like to downplay Richmond these days after all the success they've seen recently. They've had their fun. It's good to call them the third worst team in the comp, I think.
Yeah. Johnny Carlton, what do you say for that, man?
Yeah, look, on Saturday I did not move from my couch. There was 2 football games back to back. So yeah, no, I watched this whole game. To be honest, this game was just fun for me. I loved every single bit of it. Just Gold Coast, as I said, just Richmond just didn't know what they were doing. Look, with what Bruno said about Gold Coast making finals, it was a bit concerning how they let Richmond come back to what they did. Like Gold Coast was in front by a mile. I would say more than what Brisbane was to Carlton, I'm pretty sure. I think Gold Coast was up by like 66 points or something.
Yeah, halftime was 61 at that exact mark, so quite a bit.
If a team wants to play finals, you do not let teams like Richmond get back like what they did. I think they kicked the next 8 in a row. You can compare. Can you compare the Richmond and Gold Coast game to the Brisbane and Carlton game? I don't think so, because I think Brisbane and Carlton are definitely going to make top 8, but I don't see Richmond being a serious contender. And to let them score 8 goals in a row in your home ground as well at Metricon, it's a bit concerning. So look, they've gone early with Gold Coast making the finals. I think they need to show a bit more. But as I said, it was a bit concerning letting Richmond back in. I was not happy about that. I was like, Gold Coast, what the hell are you doing? Like, step it up, like, seriously. But yeah, as a Carlton fan, I was very happy to watch this game. Saturday was a very good day for me. Richmond and Collingwood losing. But yeah, to see this and to see Gold Coast just be in front from day dot, like from the first quarter, it was just amazing. Yeah, so see Richmond didn't know what they were doing was it was very exciting. So I hope they get enough rest, because on Thursday I think there's going to be another murder at the MCG, because we're not Gold Coast, and we won't let them come back like what Gold Coast did. So and to let Ben King kick 5 goals, I have a feeling Charlie's gonna. I feel like Charlie's gonna have a day out. I feel like Charlie and Harry after that. I don't think Richmond's defense can hold it up. But respects, they're playing 2 young teenager defenders, so the kids will learn a lesson this Thursday night. But congratulations to the Gold Coast. They've got a good game this week against Adelaide, who's also fighting for the top 8 spot. So if they can beat Adelaide comfortably, then things could change. But yeah, I think everyone's gone a bit too early on the Gold Coast. But good to see Richmond lose. So happy days. Got my tip right for that too. So
hey, Johnny,
don't
rough them up too much, because we got them in the week after. All right.
Oh gosh.
That could be 0 and 3 there easily. So
hopefully they're 0 and 25.
That's right. King of the North. We didn't watch this one because we didn't watch it this one. So, but
That's
we
it.
did watch
Yeah,
some
no,
of the we saw some of it. But
we did.
You love Gold Coast.
I do. Yeah, no, I'll put him in my top 8. So whether I'm being a bit, I'll be laughed at the end of the season, we'll soon find out. But no, they just outplayed Richmond. Richmond are pretty average, but there's some young talent there. I'll give one bloke who was never going to get a bit of a shout out, Sam Flanders. Now he got 26 disposals, 4 marks, 15 kicks. And he won't get a mention anywhere in the media, but good on him. Good on you, Sam. And I think they'll have a few wins, and we'll have to see. I haven't really seen sort of the way that Dimmer's gonna get him to play his sort of style, but yeah, it'll be a very interesting year for them.
Well, there you have it, man. I love the stats, King. I love the stats, man. It sounds amazing, man.
The King of the North!
Brought to you by
The King of the North!
Guy, do you watch this one?
I watched it and listened to a little bit on the radio. I agree with Bruno. It's hard to read this game in perspective of Gold Coast winning this. It is against Richmond. We all know that Richmond's going to be on the decline this year and more than likely a bottom four side. Johnny Carlton said, they let Richmond get back into this game in that third quarter. So there's some question marks there. Obviously, Matty Rao looked good. Took looks like he's back at it. Look, the Gold Coast start a good fixture off with Richmond at home, get the W. The tough test will be against us next week or this week. So we'll see how they fare then. But yeah, Richmond, bottom four for me, 100%.
All right, guys. Well, there you have it. Richmond. Not much love for Richmond on this panel, but good. Well done to the Gold Coast. All right, so quick general goes. I'm putting it out there. I just dislike bordering to hate. He's bordering to hate with the Gold Coast since they're. I can't see it because it's bloody Hearts anyway. So much politics with them and help with the AFL. So yeah, I think they got a bit of help with the AFL and stuff. So does GWS, but I mean, they're a team that's. Not in the heartland of footy, so they're going to need that help, I guess. So, not much we can do. Anyway, boys and girls. Boys. Next game. I want to know, out of everyone, who was happy to see the Premiers lose their first game?
I was not.
You were not?
No, due to family connections, actually like Collingwood, so I'm very much in the minority there. But GWS follow me on Instagram, so I also like to see them win. It was very conflicting, but I lean towards, for my dad's sake, I'm upset that Collingwood lost, I think.
Yeah, fair enough. Well,
they've had their fun, I suppose.
They have. But Johnny Carlton just shaking his head there about the Collingwood comment. But look, here is the scores. It was the GWS Giants 18-6, 114. 11-16, 82 Collingwood, a 32-point margin. Didn't see this one coming like it did. I thought that the Giants... I think the scoreboard doesn't reflect what dominance they had in that game. I reckon it should have been further, but Collingwood did get some consolation goals at the end. I liked... Yeah, Toby Green just smashed it. Not Toby. Tom Green just smashed them in the middle. He's too strong. They're just too strong. They're covered in every facet of the ground. Like the way they play is, they're just good at every. They're good on every part of the park. The forward line just out muscled their defense. Their defense was nothing. Collingwood though just looked really weak coming out of there and couldn't compete in the air with the likes of Hogan and Brown as well. He was great. I think he scored 4 goals, Brown. So GWS looked good,
five,
man.
Even.
5.
Yeah, 5 goals straight off of 11 touches. So good outing for him.
GWS are I'm not sure. Kingsley's got him playing because I think Kingsley was in the Richmond. He was with Dimmer, wasn't he, before?
Yeah.
So he's playing that kind of style that they used to play, but I reckon he's perfected it even better the way they play. So, and they got good players, man. Every line. Look, their defense, their midfield, their forward line. This is going to be a tough team to beat. Now, Collingwood coming off their premiership. Look, tougher. Any team that goes to GWS, this year it's gonna be very hard. So, look, do we count Collingwood out? No, but they do have some issues. Down back in particular, and forward line. They haven't got any real tall timber down in the forward line. So, I mean, their midfield's pretty good, but yeah, they just looked off the pace. So, but if you're a Collingwood supporter sitting out there, I wouldn't worry too much. I think you'd be right up there at the end. But GWS guys, Bruno,
Yes.
tell us what were your thoughts on the game?
Well, this was an odd one because I look at the stat sheet. Everything seems to be pretty evenly matched. In fact, if I was just looking at stats, I would have thought maybe Collingwood win. More inside 50s. I think they had more scoring, just not very accurate. But one of the things that I like about the Giants is that they're a team that's not very reliant on their superstars, in the sense that, like you said, they're playing a similar style to Richmond, but very fine-tuned in the sense they don't have a Dustin Martin or a Jack Riewoldt or any players of those, well, not many players of that caliber that are like the elite of the elite at their peak. So it seems like it's a real team effort, and every year it seems like there's one or two Giants players that I've just never heard of that are apparently superstars of the competition. They just keep churning out these players who get better and better and better. So I'm not worried for Collingwood here because they lost to a very talented side, but the whole time I'm thinking, when is Collingwood going to do their signature comeback? When is it going to kick in? But that third quarter, I think it was like 4 goals something to the Giants, and Collingwood might have kicked about 3 behinds, I think. That was where it broke apart, and I do tend to wonder, have the Giants figured it out? Have they? Because Collingwood is a team that you don't normally get a chance to do this against. They have close matches. It's always entertaining when they take on each other. I have to wonder, have the Giants figured something out that's going to hold them in good stead when they get into these positions where if they can get ahead on good teams, whether they'll stay ahead. And they did that to us in the prelim last year. I thought that wasn't a game that they didn't really give us much of an opportunity to really push forward and get back in front, and that was pretty much what they did on Saturday night as well.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. They were great, and they were just so clinical in the way they moved the ball, and yeah. But Johnny Carlton, thoughts on the game? You would have watched this one as well. You'd have been happy with Collingwood losing.
Well, on Sunday morning I went shopping, right? And
high vis.
And I said to myself, what's better than Collingwood losing than wearing an orange high vis? So I'm going to say this game in an orange high vis because, look, Saturday was a pretty good day for me. I enjoyed Saturday night. I had a very nice dinner to myself. I sat back. I enjoyed the football by myself. I wish I wore one of those orange vis like everyone was in the crowd because, as I said, GWS was very, very, very surprising. They were. I thought Collingwood was gonna be there till the fourth quarter, but GWS just, they were just on point from the start. Collingwood looked like they were hungover. They just didn't want to be on the ground. As I said, Brown, Daniels, Hogan, GWS's whole team. As I said, Taylor was really good down the back line. Cornelio, Tom Green was a bull in the midfield.
Yeah, he was.
Their forward line, Toby Green didn't have a really big impact, but he did as well at the same point. Callum Ward broke his shoulder halfway through. As I said, it's just, it just didn't look like Collingwood. As I said, don't get me wrong, I loved it. Good to see them lose. It was a very good Saturday night for me. As I said, I was just a bit jealous that I wasn't wearing an orange high vis on Saturday night. So I went shopping Sunday morning just to make sure I wear a orange high vis just to show the Collingwood supporters on my Instagram how nice the colour orange is. But as I said, GWS very impressive. I was happy with my tip there too. Tipped the Giants to win. But I said GWS was going to be top 4 this year. They're a very dangerous team. They have all the players to go all the way. So they were a bit unlucky last year, but they they look good this year. As I said, they've added new kids to the team as well. I said, yeah, they look like the real deal. So, yeah, good luck versus GWS home or away because, yeah, they're going to bring up a fight. But, yeah, good to see Collingwood lose. Hopefully they keep doing it, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think Collingwood are still in good shape, but you look,
They are,
it's
as I
early
said.
days. Yeah.
Look, Nick Dacos was still good. They still had their players. I didn't think Darcy Moore had a really good game, but I reckon it was just, as I said, I think it's just a one-off, and I think Collingwood will bounce back. As we don't want to say it, but I reckon they'll bounce back. So yeah, no, I reckon they'll be up there again this year. But yeah, no, good to see the Orange team get a win over the Premiership team. So yeah,
There you go, King of the North.
Yes, very, very impressive. The young Bulls made the old Bulls look a bit average, and yeah, just some outstanding players all over the field. Lockie Ash, Harry Himmelberg, Callum Brown was just everywhere. We were watching the game, and it was like he's there again. I'm saying to Chris while we were watching, it's like Callum Brown is there again, just taking the intercept or taking the mark or whatever. But Lockie Whitfield, 33 disposals, 14 marks, 24 kicks, just outstanding. So yeah, they're just a really well-oiled, well-drilled machine, and they are going to put away some sides this year for sure.
I got a stat here. 5 goals, and they got bragging rights. That's what I found a picture with. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but yeah, I don't know why they had that picture on, but bragging rights against Collingwood, I guess. But whoops, the wrong one. All right, so Guy, what do you recommend? Did you watch this one?
I reckon Brown's been working out with Kingsley in the gym, getting a bit of juice in those arms.
Oh yeah,
He's looking huge. Yeah, look, GWS, they look like the real deal. They look good from top to bottom. Bit of a statement win here against the Premiers. But look, I concur with a lot of what everyone said. I'm not too worried with Collingwood. I feel that they'll bounce back and be around the mark of top 4 this year. But look, GWS, man, you don't want to play them at the moment. They look really good. Even their midfield, just too strong. I'm just thinking like how Crows would play this team, and I think they beat us twice last year, and I hope we don't have to play them twice this year. So, look, GWS are the real deal, man, and yeah, they can go all the way.
100%. Well, that is the round, guys. Opening round done and dusted. I've got the ladder here. Now, we got Gold Coast is on top, obviously, because they won by more because of the percentage. GWS second, Sydney Swans third, Carlton is fourth. I feel like Carlton should be top, and then you got Brisbane, Melbourne, Collingwood, Richmond. So that's your 8. I mean, the ladder doesn't really matter this time of year, but thought I would show you guys that. All right.
The only time Richmond will be in the 8.
Guys, well, that's right. That's the only time. Guys, it is round 1. Now we're going to go through all the games, give out tips, and then we'll call it a night. So obviously this Thursday night is the big one, the round 1 blockbuster that should have been the round 1, but it is Carlton versus Richmond at the MCG. Bruno, who are you tipping with this one? And what do you think's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen in this match, man?
Well, I'd say this is one of the easier tips of the round. Obviously, Carlton, I think, with such a great performance, although one thing I do wonder, and I think being against Richmond, I'm not too worried, but I think a game playing at the Gabba in round 1, I mean, we saw what happened with us in 2022. We went 0-5 because of fatigue and injuries. It's the worst way to start the year. So I'm glad for Carlton they got the points. I think playing Richmond, I don't think that's going to affect them into this week. I think Carlton win this one pretty easily.
Yep. Johnny Carlton, we know what you're going here.
Yeah, well, look, I'll be there. Can't wait. 85,000. As I said, my boys are hopefully make me proud. If we lose, I'm going to cry. Hate losing against this team. If we lose against Richmond, I'll cry. But our boys, I know Doc's not there, but I know someone else will come in and do his role. The boys just have belief at the moment. So, yeah, no, Carlton for me. And, I'll be there, so can't wait.
King of the North, what do you reckon, man? Are you going to go for you going to back your boys this time?
Yep, Carlton for sure. By 40, Johnny Carlton.
Oh,
wow. By 40.
Jeez. All right, Guy, what's your take?
It's hard to find any reason to pick Richmond, isn't it? It's just you can't. There's no reason. You can't see anything but a Carlton win here. So yeah, Carlton for me.
Carlton for me too. I reckon they're gonna Amanda's in the background just losing it with Carlton. So Carlton blue baggers for me. I reckon Mackay will kick 7 goals. That's my 7 goals. He's a sharpshooter now, Johnny. Come on. He's hitting him perfectly. Come on.
Hey,
I want to see him do it 2 weeks in a row, man. We're gonna relax.
We're in 2024. Anything can happen now if Harry's kicking straight.
100%. All right, next game. This is Friday night. It's the Pies versus the Swans. Now the Swans look great. Collingwood looked a bit rusty. I mean, I think this one's at the MCG as well. Is it the MCG? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Collingwood have to bounce back at the MCG. I mean, are they unveiling? They must be unveiling the Premiership flag, I'm guessing.
They are. Yeah, they are.
So, you know, it's a big night for them. Oh, Grundy in the ruck, though, you know, like just looking. This is going to be a tough one, man. He just looks so good, but can they go to the MCG and beat the Premiers? I don't know. I'm going to go Pies but just for me. Bruno, what do you reckon?
I'm pretty confident the Pies take this. I think you mentioned Grundy. I think he wins the ruck battle. He'd be up against Darcy Cameron and 2 revenge games in 2 weeks. It'd be he'd be all over that. But I think it's just hard to beat Collingwood in Melbourne. And I still maintain that will continue to be the case this year. Sydney very good, not taking anything away, but I think Collingwood walk away. Even if it's a close one, I'm pretty set on Collingwood winning that one.
No worries, Bruno. Johnny Carlton, what do you reckon, man?
Yeah, now with unrelieving the flag this week, it's just going to be Collingwood's week. So, yeah, I think Collingwood will get their first win in the season this week. But would be good to see Sydney win, but I just feel like Collingwood will be too strong.
Yeah, 100%. King of the North, what do you reckon?
That Collingwood crowd at the MCG is very daunting when you're there and you're against them. And but I'm going to say Sydney. I'm going to say there's going to be an upset and go for the Sydney, and Grundy gets another win.
All right, beautiful. That's a bold call there. Bold call. Guy?
Man, I really want to pick Sydney in this game. I really do. But that whole revealing of the flag stuff and first game at the G for Collingwood, I think go Collingwood just. A few points.
Yeah. All right. Next game. It is these two teams haven't played yet. We had the Bombers versus the Hawks. Now both teams finished in the bottom part of the ladder last year. So yeah, it's hard to pick this one. I like the development of the Hawks more than Essendon last year. I know the Essendon have picked up, you know, a few players, but you know, judging what they did in the preseason games, they weren't impressive to me. So I'm going to go with the Hawks on this one. I think they're ready to take that next step, and I reckon Essendon's going to be their first victim. So the Hawks for me. Bruno?
Yeah, I'd lean the other way towards Essendon. Not much to go off with this one, really. I think it's the fact that they did recruit so prolifically that's just sticking them ahead in my mind. But with not much to go off, I'd pretty confident in Essendon to get this one, I think.
Okay. Johnny Carlton?
Before we go on to these games, I just wanted to say my bold call for this week.
Oh, wait. I've got the graphic, man. Let me bring it up. Man. All right, here we go. Oh, not that one. What did I do with it? Oh, here we go. Bold call. Johnny Carlton's bold call of the week. Let's get it.
There will be 2 games that will be 80 points and more. 2 teams will win by 80 points and more.
Yeah.
Which team are you going to tell us teams or?
I'll tell it when we're talking about it, but
All right.
2 teams will win by 80 plus.
Wow, okay. That's the bold call, guys.
So Essendon Hawthorn. Yeah, look, obviously these will be the first. These 2 didn't play last week, so it will be the first time seeing these 2 play in 2024. I feel like Essendon will get the win here. I feel like their new players are going to shine in their first game. I think Mackay, Dersma, Gresham, I think all those boys. Look, I feel Essendon was a bit more, I don't know, you could say a bit more stylish than Hawthorn in the practice games, but at the end of the day, it's practice games. But yeah, no, I just think Essendon start 2024 with a win. So yeah, I'm going the Bombers.
King of the North?
I'm a bit bullish on the Hawks. I think they have bought well in the off season. They finished well last year. They played. You could see a bit of potential last year as well. So I'm going to go out for the Hawks.
Nice. Guy?
Just before I tip, is that Street Fighter Versus sign you got on the thumbnail, on the backdrop there?
Street Fighter?
You know how Street Fighter used to have Versus on
Oh,
the
yeah.
screen?
It is. Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's in the middle, yeah.
It's hard to tip here, man. I don't know who's going to win, but I'll probably go with the Bombers. I think Will Day and not missing in the Hawks will probably hurt him a little bit here. So go on the Bombers.
Nice. Next game, Giants versus Roos. After seeing what the Giants did to Collingwood, yeah, Giants for me. Bruno?
Yep. Easiest pick of the round, I think.
Giants, yeah.
I'm going, Giants, obviously.
Yeah, this might be the 80-point win you're talking about, Johnny Carlton. What do you reckon?
Yeah, this is one of the 2. Yeah, I reckon Giants are going to kill them out of the park. I reckon 80 plus or more.
Yeah.
The way Joe, do not want to be a North Melbourne supporter this Saturday. So,
No. King of the North, do you agree with that one?
Same, yeah.
Yeah. And Guy, I'm
Please
guessing.
do.
Yeah, this is an easy one. All right, next one's a bit tricky because the Cats versus the Saints. I think, Cats had a pretty shit season last year, but it's at their home ground, isn't it? It's in Geelong. Cats don't lose there, but in saying that, I just like what St Kilda's been doing in the pre-season games, and I think St Kilda in a close one for me. Bruno, what do you reckon?
A small part of me wants to go St Kilda, but I'll still stick with Geelong. I've got nightmares of Geelong in Geelong, and it's very hard for me to tip against them. And it's the first game with the new Joel Selwood stand in there, so it's going to be a bigger crowd than we've ever seen at GMHBA Stadium before. So I think that'll spur on the Cats. I'd still lean towards the Cats here, I think.
Beautiful. Johnny Carlton.
yeah, look, Joel, I was about to say the Joel Selwood stand's about to be revealed this week. So, yeah, Geelong for me. I just feel like they're going to do it for him. So, yeah, no, Geelong for me.
King of the North?
St Kilda started the year well last year, and I think they'll do the same this year, but I don't think they're going to beat the Cats at home. So, Cats for me.
Johnny?
Yeah, Geelong at home. I think St Kilda will still have a good year, but Geelong just.
Jeez, I'm the only one going for Saints. Jeez. All right, next one. It is the Gold Coast Suns and my arch nemesis, the Crows. They're playing back at Gold Coast. The Suns have a game under their belt. I'm going to go, look, man,
Don't
Come
do
on,
it.
say it. Say it.
I'm gonna go the Suns, man, because
Just a typical Port supporter, eh? There we go. Can't change
Oh.
their spots, Johnny.
I want to see the Suns win.
I can see why he's tipping him.
I just think they've got a game, and no Phil Thorpe. Phil Thorpe's out for the 14 rounds. I don't know, man. I don't know. They look good on the weekend. I just think, they beat you guys last year. It's at their home ground. If it was at Adelaide, I would choose the Crows, but no, I'm gonna go with the home team here, Suns.
It's not a Darwin, no. It's not a Darwin.
It's not a Darwin, but yeah, Suns for me. Bruno, what do you reckon?
Well, as much as it pains me to say it, I'm gonna go against that. I'm gonna say the Crows win that one. Reason I know I hate to say that, but I don't know. Maybe if Gold Coast had done what they'd done against the better side, I'd be like, sure, let's go for it. But these are two teams I think are probably fighting for the same spot in the 8. And there's just that part of me. I see what the Crows are doing, and their wins over us really stick in my mind. So it's kind of hard for me to tip against them, against a side that's only beaten us once. Maybe that's why I'm going the Crows, but I see it continuing. Crows for
All
me
right.
here.
Johnny Carlton, what do you reckon?
Yeah, look, this is going to be a tricky game. I reckon this is the hardest tip of the round, but I'm going to go Adelaide as well. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, look. This is a test for Gold Coast. They're going to go up against a side that will probably challenge for the 8 this year. So I have Adelaide in the 8, and I feel like they're going to have a good year. I know they've lost Riley, but I just feel like their stars are going to show up, and they're going to get the job done in a close one as well. I reckon. I don't think this game's going to be more than 9 points. So I reckon in a close one by a kick or under. So yeah.
King of the North, if you say the Crows, I'm gonna jump through the screen and
King of the North's always got my back.
King, where are you going, man? Come on, you love the Suns. I've heard you love them.
Look, I like the Suns. I think they're going to. I've got them in my top 8, as I said, but we said all year, and Adelaide would have been in the 8 if they would have won away from home. So they've got to now prove, and they may as well do it in round 1, that they can win away from home. So I'm tipping the Crows, and this one's for Johnny G.
Well, there you go, man. He's got your back. Guy, Johnny G.
Look, obviously I'm tipping the Crows, but I'm not confident. It's round 1. We're going up to Metricon. They're just coming off a win. They got some confidence there. Look, I would love to have Phil Thorpe in that side, but I'm really excited about our midfield rotation, the speed we've got in our team. I think we've still got a lot of goals. The only thing that worries me is our defence a little bit, but like Johnny Carlton says, I think we just win. Just.
There you go, man. So it's going to be an interesting game. I'm actually looking forward to watching that game, so that'll be really interesting. So, go Suns. Go the Suns. All right, next game. D's versus the Dogs. This is another interesting game. Both have guns in their team. But look, after watching Melbourne last week, I think I'm going to go the Dogs this one. I might go the Dogs. I do like the Dogs. I think they got a good list. Bontempelli and that. I think Melbourne are a bit sketchy at the moment. So for me, I'm going to go Dogs. It's 50-50 this one, really. What do you guys reckon?
I would say I disagree with the result. I'm thinking Melbourne, but I do agree. I think this is one that I could very much see going either way. I'm someone that's not really convinced that the Dogs are going to continue to drop off. I think they'll be right back in the mix, but something about Melbourne versus Bulldogs, I just can't quite put my finger on it, but that's just the vibe I'm getting. Melbourne pull through, make up for what's how they played last week, and they're back at home. So I think I'll go Melbourne here.
Johnny Carlton, do you have to go now, or you're right?
No, I'm all good. Yeah, no, just Look, my mate said something to me earlier this week, and I had to agree. I think Melbourne are going to go 0-5 in the first 5 rounds.
Ooh.
Well, I didn't see them winning until round 7 against Richmond. So, look, I'm going Bulldogs as well as an upset. I feel like Melbourne are going to do a Port Adelaide, like go 0-5 and then start to come back late, and I feel like they might have a big push. But, yeah, look, checking their first 5 games, Melbourne have a hard run. They have Adelaide away. They have Adelaide at home. So, Port Adelaide away, Adelaide at home. As I said, I'm going Bulldogs here. Melbourne didn't excite me on Thursday night. So going the Dogs, I feel like Bont and Libba are going to tear the Melbourne midfield apart. So yeah, good to see that Sanders kid. Yeah, I reckon he's going to be exciting on Sunday. So Dogs for me.
King of the North.
I'll go Melbourne back in Melbourne. Not sure. We'll have to see how the Dogs go when they haven't had a run yet. So let's see how they go. They could go well, or it could be a repeat of last year. But yeah, I'll stick with the Demons and see how we go.
Beautiful guy. What do you reckon, man?
Yeah, it's a hard game to predict this one. I think you never know with the Western Bulldogs, how they're going to, I think last season I tipped them to do really well and they disappointed me. So, but Melbourne, they look like they got beaten up a little bit in Sydney, got roughed up a bit, looked, half dead in that second half, very injured. So don't know how he's going to pull up. I reckon the Bulldogs, man. I reckon Bontempelli comes out game 1, gets 35 touches and a couple goals.
Yeah, that's what I reckon. Yeah. All right, well, there you go. That's Melbourne Bulldogs. Now, the best team in the land, Port Adelaide versus the Eagles.
Yes.
Come on. Now, look, this is, we're fighting a team that's down the bottom. If we don't win this one, man, what's the point of the season, really? Might as well just get rid of the whole season if we can't beat West Coast.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, man, now, if we don't beat West Coast, the players, the whole supporter base at Adelaide is going to burn down. They'll burn the place down if we lose. So,
don't do that. I'm coming. Don't do that. I'm coming there in 2 weeks. Don't do that, please.
You'd have to give Ken another 2 years, wouldn't you? If they lost.
Oh, watch out, King of the North.
Data,
watch out. Look for me, yeah, Port Adelaide. We'll win comfortably. I'm going to be interested to see how the new boys go for us, and hopefully Butters' ankle's all right. I think he said he's all right to play, so he should be fine. Bruno, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I hate tipping us, but how can you not against West Coast, really? So definitely Port here, and I think this is what we thrive on. If there's a match that you could call a certainty this week, actually it's probably Giants versus North, but this one right up there, it's pretty... I don't think there's any possibility where we lose this one against the current West Coast side, but stranger things have happened, I guess.
Yeah, but what's a pass mark, Bruno? Is 20 points a win pass mark? I don't think that is. It's not.
I don't know what the conditions will be. I'm not too focused on margin, provided it's a game where we're consistently ahead of them, not like one where we get out to a massive lead and then they cut it back. But you would think for most sides, a good side coming up against West Coast would want to beat them by 40 points, 40 plus at least. So I'd say if I had to give it a pass mark, that's probably 40 plus is the one where I'd say.
Yeah, 100%. All right, Johnny Carlton, give us your rundown.
Well, this is my 2 out of 2 bold call, so...
Wow, this one, was it?
Yeah, I think Port
the next one.
I think Port are going to beat West Coast by 80 points or more.
Wow.
I just feel, look, Harley Reid's going to make an impact, I reckon. But, I just feel like it's going to be Rosie's game, or I feel like the Rosie 33 touches, 2 goals. I feel like Marshall and Geordie Artis are going to kick 10 between them. I just feel like it's going to be Port Adelaide's day, and especially in Adelaide. If it was at Optus Stadium, I would have gave West Coast maybe about a 30-point loss, but in Adelaide, it's gonna do some question marks. So Port by 80 plus.
And Rosie as the captain, like his first hit out, I just think that he's gonna
have a killer.
Yeah.
Hope to see another Horn Francis masterclass like round 1 last year as well. He'd be in for a big one, I think.
He looks fit, man. I was watching him at the preseason game. He looks really good. So
I'm in love with that man. If I'm being completely honest, I love him.
Yeah, I'm so happy we got him. I mean, we sold the farm to get him, but
worth every penny.
100%. King of the North. Now, you do have a soft spot for Port Adelaide, but give us your thoughts, man.
Well, they got the number 1 draft pick. They've got the West Coast of Australia on their side, and Port Adelaide will beat them by 50 plus.
That's the best. That's wild. Guy, what do you want? What do you reckon, man? You're gonna go West Coast, aren't you? Just to piss you off.
I reckon there's a Port Adelaide supporter on the panel doing the fixture list. That's what I reckon. Getting West Coast at home round 1 is just. We got West Coast and Richmond. Who made up these fixtures, bro?
Don't worry, man. It gets harder for us later.
I would love it if West Coast won this. I swear, I'll give up Crows beating Gold Coast to fucking see West Coast win here. So.
I'll tell you what, I'd do the exact same the other way around, so I completely understand.
Oh, no.
Look, you can't not pick Port. They're going to win. Hopefully it's, just and everyone's talking about how good West Coast were. So,
All right,
Port
there you have it, guys. Port Adelaide, go the power, go the pair. I'll be at the game, so if you see me in the crowd, just wave to the camera. So. But,
say hi from Melbourne.
Yeah.
I'll wave from Melbourne.
No worries, guys. Well, last game of the round. It is in the West. The Dockers versus the Lions. Now, for me personally, guys, I think the Lions are going to want blood, and they're going to smell purple blood because Freo. I don't know. For what I saw of Freo, I was in Alberton 2 weeks ago, and I watched that match against them. They just looked terrible. They went they just were boring to watch. No, their movement was boring. Everything was just boring about them. So hopefully they get a few players back and make it a bit of a fight against Brisbane. But yeah, Brisbane I think that's another one that could blow out. So Brisbane for me by plenty. Bruno, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I think I definitely would go Brisbane here. I'd have to wonder because I think Brisbane to Perth is the biggest road trip in the AFL, if I'm not mistaken. So, that could be a factor. But really, I wasn't very convinced by Freo last year. They didn't carry in the momentum they had from 2022, and as such, hard for me to think they're going to be contenders this year. So I think Brisbane walk away with this one pretty easily, especially they'd be seething after opening round against Carlton. I think that'll spur them on and they take a pretty easy win.
100%. Johnny Carlton?
Yeah, Brisbane for me. Yeah, pretty simple. Doesn't say they're going to want payback after what we did to them on Thursday night. So, yeah, Brisbane for me.
King of the North?
Brisbane for me. I think Freo's going to have not a fun year, and they might be the first ones to lose their coach. So Brisbane for me by a lot.
And Guy, what do you reckon, man?
Yeah, don't rate the Dockers. Brisbane bounce back here. They get the win.
All right, guys. Well, that is the show. Quickly say hello to everyone in the chat. Khan the Bulldogs. Amanda reckons Guy is a comedian. Liverpool will win to Johnny G. That's what he reckons. Is Liverpool playing Man United? Is that right?
Yeah, we'll beat Liverpool. Don't worry.
And yeah, and they're just talking to each other. But look, everyone in the chat, thank you so much for coming in. I know, like when we talk footy, we get so involved, we forget about the chat. You know what I mean? Because we're just so involved. So, but Amanda's in there entertaining the chat. So, but look, I just want to say a quick thank you to Johnny Carlton. Good luck to Carlton this week. Bruno, great to have you. We want to have you back. Yeah, thanks for coming. And
No
also,
worries at all.
yeah, King of the North guy, we love you. Is there any final words, guys, you want to say before we go?
Watch along this Thursday night for the Richmond and Blues. So we'll be covering that.
Yeah, we'll be covering that game, and we'll be covering Friday night and also Saturday. So Sunday, I don't know if the King of the North will have his internet up and running. He might do a show that night. We're not sure yet. We'll see how we go. He might do the Power game. But guys, thank you so much again. If you're brand new to the show, guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and yeah, guys, check out our merch, HFD. HFDmerch.myspreadshop.com.au. I haven't got the graphic to show you guys. But one more thing before we go, guys. I'm going to play this because I laugh every time. But here we go.
Absolutely, the Crows were robbed. Right in front of me. Right in front of me.
Oh,
right.
You can't let it go, can you?
Just a last slap at the at Adelaide. There we go. Well done.
Anyway, guys, thanks for coming in.
If we had made fines, would have bigger impact than Port last year. Tell you what.
Oh, he wants me to play sometimes. Nowhere to play.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
All right, guys, that's it. Go to Power. Come on, Power.
Up the
Go
pair.
Baggers. Go Baggers.
We'll see you next week, guys. Take care. Spike your hair. Stay hunky.
Hey, hunky.